What should you do if someone tries to get up in your face like this? In a real life fight situation, this is extremely common. What guys will do is they'll come right up to your face, they'll be chest to chest, and they will try to intimidate you. And it is very intimidating. It's very scary to have someone in your face like this. And you need to resist the urge to do it back at them, to kind of show them, hey, I'm not afraid, and stare them down. It's a really bad idea. And the reason it's such a bad idea is because it's a trap. Very often on the streets, when someone gets in your face like this, they're first trying to intimidate you, and then right from here, they can just swing and hit you and knock you out, and there's nothing you can do about it. It happens too quickly, you're too close. There's no amount of practice that can prepare you for that. You're gonna get knocked down. And from here, it might be a punch to your face or a headbutt, or if they're a really bad guy, they might just stab you with a knife. Again, there's no time for you to react. So anytime someone gets in your face like this, you have to resist the urge to do the same thing. So you really have two options. The first option, and by far your best option most of the time, is to get back and put your hands up in a defensive position like this. This accomplishes a number of things. The first thing it does is it buys you some space, and that gives you time. So by getting back like this, I now have a chance to react if he comes at me. My hands are up and open, so if he throws a punch, I can at least get something in the way. If he tries to rush me and tackle me to take me to the ground, I've got my elbows down and I can do something to prevent that. So this buys me some space and some time. And you'll notice that my hands are open, they're not closed. And the reason for that is that, one, this is more defensive. If he takes a swing at me or tries to rush in on me, I want to have my hands open, right? My hands are bigger when they're open versus when they're closed. And the second reason is that this is a passive stance. And there's going to be witnesses, there's going to be surveillance video. Everywhere these days there's a camera or there's someone watching. And if I'm like this looks like I'm challenging him to a fight. And so if it does turn into a fight and it gets violent and someone gets hurt, there's a good chance that I'll be the one who gets arrested and goes to jail or gets suspended from school, because this looks like I'm threatening him or I'm challenging him. This does not. When you back up, you want to say, hey man, leave me alone. I don't want to fight. You want to give him a chance to walk away. You want to try to avoid the fight if at all possible. And you want to let everyone know, including this guy, that you're not being the aggressor. That could be very important later on. And just one last detail about this. When you step back, you don't want to be flat on your heels. That doesn't give you any mobility. If he does decide to rush in on you and attack, you need to be on the balls of your feet ready to react, either to move in with a punch or to move to the side. So just think, you don't want your heels on the ground. You want to be like a little bit up on your toes, and especially that back foot, you kind of want to have that heel off the ground so that you have more mobility. So backing up, creating space, trying to de-escalate, that's always going to be your best option. But the other option you have is that sometimes you can't avoid a fight. You're in a situation where you know this guy is going to hurt you no matter what you do, and you've got to find a way to defend yourself. You know, maybe every time you come back, he gets back in your face. He's not leaving you alone. Maybe you're alone somewhere in an alley, in a parking lot at night, and you know that this guy intends to do you harm, and there's no amount of de-escalation that's going to help you. So what you want to do in that case, your other option, instead of getting in his face, when he does get in your face, you want to strike first. Because as bad as this is for you to be this close to someone, right? Because it gives you no time to react to a strike, it's equally bad for him. So you want to take advantage of that. If I were to step back and put my fists up and get ready to fight this guy, now I've given him a chance to prepare. If he's right in my face like this and I decide to hit him first, I'm going to catch him by surprise. And I've got a really good chance at this distance of doing damage because he can't react to it. And there's any number of strikes that can work from this position that are equally effective. In the streets, it's very common for someone just to throw a right cross right to your chin. That could be very effective, right? From wherever you are, just throw that. It can also be a hook where you hit anywhere along the jawline. That could knock a guy out, do a lot of damage. It could come from your rear hand. It could also come from your lead hand. There's also something that people throw on the street, which is called an overhand, where maybe he's got his hands up like this, and you kind of come down right on his jaw or on his nose, and you kind of step off to the side a little bit in case he decides to strike you. That can be really effective. If you've seen any Muay Thai kickboxing, an elbow to the face can cause tremendous destruction, and it protects your body, because if you punch someone, you can break your fingers, but an elbow really doesn't have that much risk of injuring yourself. If you've seen any Krav Maga, you know that from right here, a palm heel right up into the chin can be very devastating. It's very powerful, and it flows naturally from this kind of defensive position. So if someone's right here in your face, boom, wherever your hands are, boom, right up into his chin. Also from Krav Maga is a hammer fist. Maybe someone's getting in your face and your hands are up here, boom. You come right down on the bridge of his nose with everything you've got. You drop your body weight. You can knock a guy out like that. One thing that's common in the street is a headbutt. Your face are so close to each other, you could just come forward and smack him. You hit him in the nose with the top of your head. That can do extreme damage. You can grab his jacket when you do it, or I like to grab right behind the neck and come right down on his nose with the top of your head. You might also knee him in the groin from right here. It's very hard to see coming. Some guys like to throw an uppercut because they can't see something coming up from below, like the way a shark comes up and attacks a seal. From right here, you just come right under that chin. Any of those can be extremely effective. What you don't want to do is take a big swing, because that gives him a chance to react. So if he is in your face and you know you can't avoid the fight, then what you really need to do is strike first and just hit fast and hit hard with whatever strike makes sense for you. So again, big rule of thumb is on the street, if someone gets into your face, don't do it back to them. Don't stay here. I like to call this the dead zone, because if you're this close to someone, you're dead already and you just don't know it. Someone getting in your face like this, it's a trap. It's setting you up to be sucker punched. So don't let it happen. Either get back and create space and try to avoid the fight, or if you can't avoid the fight, worst case, when he's in your face, hit him first.